Gundam.tk presents AG Zedas. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2 hours to be used from YouTube and Gundam.tk. Good to have you here as Gundam Age, the anime continues, and more importantly for model builders, the high grade and advanced grade lines are kicking into full gear. This kit came out in November 2011 at the same time as the AG Titus, and it sells for the supermarket friendly price of 600 yen. This is number 6 in the 1144th AG line, which remember is not quite as good as the high grade line of the same size. Something to keep in mind when you're comparing these AG kits to HG kits is that when I'm buying them as impulse buys. They're right in front of you, they cost 600 yen and stores always sell them for less than that. So you're talking less than the price of a McDonald's value meal, you can pick up one of these Gundams. And so when it comes out before the high grades actually hit the shelf, it can be pretty tempting even though you know it's going to be less. If you were having to import these and pay way more in shipping than it actually costs for the kit, of course you're going to look at them a little bit differently. To the side of the box where you've got some game information there with the cost and hit points, and you'll notice that this is painted by a pro. This is not going to look like this right out of the box. Down here they're advertising the weapon, which is the Zedas sword, although you don't really get a good view of it here. And then it's going to go on to talk about how this is part one of the UE's mobile suits and how you can play the Gundam Tri-Age, and the card is included. To the other side, where again the focus is on the game aspect, go to a supermarket, put your AG down, and kids can play games while mom shops, I suppose, or dad. But more importantly, you have the block build system, which was really interesting for the AG1, or for the AG Age 1 normal, and hopefully proves to be just as interesting for the bad guys, as you basically put layer on top of layer. Inside the box, when you crack it open, you're going to get a single bag, it looks like. You can see the card, it's got the gauging chip in there, and all the plates are one color, it looks like. Manual instructions and everything else you need are on the inside of the box. That includes details on how to take them off. You can just use your fingers, although tools are always better. All the accessories you can use to play the gauging game, the plates here, and how to order missing parts if you are missing any, and again, that's for Japan only. The AG kits remind me very much of SD kits, which of course they'll remind most people just based on the side. Here you're going to have a half plate, the A1 and A2, just a regular plate cut in half. You're going to have the wings, the head part there, the main parts for the body, and the Zedas sword is actually looking fairly impressive in size. It's good to see through the A and B plates that none of the parts are repeated. They are unique plates just for the Zedas. I thought there might be some gaffer and reuse. But instead, the B plate is going to give you what you need for the limbs. However, there is absolutely no color variation with this, so it looks like it's going to be a real step down from the Gafran, which wasn't horrible as an AG. The card here has the same art that's on the cover, and you've got some stats down there, and it's beam cannon, I suppose, as its special attack. The gauging chip, which goes into the back, has 006 on there, its number in the series. When he's all put together, you certainly get a better idea of how this mobile suit was just designed there. Lots of cool looking parts and little details like those 3 stripes Zedas that seem to be showing up all over the place. The head and the cockpit certainly look interesting there in the chest, but overall very plain and of course, just the one color. For posability, remember nothing at all happens with the legs, and the ankles shouldn't move, although they are just a little bit loose in there. The arms are going to go around in a circle, which is going to get in the way of those parts up there, and the head is just on a single ball joint and can move that much. For height comparison, you can see that it towers over the AH1 normal, never mind the Titus, which is even shorter, and it's also bigger and bulkier in every way. However, in terms of the color battle, yes, that AH1, despite being 600 yen, well, the same price of course, certainly wins the color war hands down. Next to the all-white AG Genoese Custom here, this one is going to win by just the fact that it has that second color there in the mask. However, in terms of size and speed and sheer brute strength looking, yes, the Zedas is going to take the cake. Next to its high-grade counterpart, you can see that the proportions are ever so slightly different there in the head and chest, but overall you're going to be getting a lot more posability, and you're going to be getting 3 colors plus more if you put on the seals for double the price. For posing, you have the option of the angry sword going up and down in the air because it is on a pivoting point there and can attach to either hand. Or you can rotate it down and have it go parallel to the arm, which would look very similar, of course, to the high grade. And you can move that arm, but don't expect much other than these 2 poses. So final verdict, of course, there's some good and bad, and the bad, of course, is going to be pretty similar to all of the AGs, and even worse in this one just because it is literally just one color. With the Genoese Custom, you got that blue face shield, and with everything else, there's some variation, except with this kit. For the pros, of course, it came out more towards the beginning of the series when the Zedas had made a first and very memorable opening appearance. And with the high grade not available, you can see that for 600 yen, some kid might want to go out and pick that up. And me too. If this is something that you have to import and you're spending more to import than you are to actually buy the kit, then it's something that I'm sure you can pass off and get the high grade, which if you check out its review is not necessarily perfect either. Anyway, it's good to have on your shelf, but not as good as another grunt because another Genoese or another Gaffran can always add to a battle scene, or this one as a unique character, so far anyway, doesn't seem to have the same kind of appeal. However, that's my thoughts and my thoughts only, so why don't you let me know what you think with a comment down below. How does this stack up compared to other AGs, the high grade or the Gaffran? They're all sort of interesting and they've all got some pros and cons, and I'd love to hear your take on it down below so that people can get more opinions. Anyway, stay tuned, lots more AGs, HGs, and of course 148th and master grades on their way. Hope you come back and check it out then. Gundam.tk, Robert184, thanks for watching. See ya. You know, compared to you and your bright color scheme, I'm a ninja.